Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and shalom to the whole full elect. It's Pi Allah of the GMS London camp with new coming. This is news and prophecy, prophecy and news. I got an article here from Sky News, alright, and it says, and the title reads, COVID-19 test and trace leaked slides reveal Christmas reset plans. Alright. So it says the documents revealed a deep concern within the English contact tracing organization about its image and performance. Alright. So they're saying they have a reset plan. Right. So we know the main reason why I'm harping on about reset this, reset is because you know that um there's a thing known as a great reset, alright? And that's what we're in the midst of, basically, alright? So I'm going to read this. It says, Test and Trace bosses believe they need to rebuild public trust and are planning to pre-Christmas push to rescue the troubled service, according to the leaked slides seen by Sky News. Now, why would they push for it even more before Christmas? Because Christmas is, tis the season and all of that stuff. Basically, you have people that haven't seen other family members since March. They ain't been able to sit at a dinner table. They're going through it, basically, alright? So you got people like that, and they're breaking point to do anything needed to basically, get to the point where it's like they can see those family members, and that's why they're trying to push for this test and trace, right? So it says the documents shown during a video call hosted by some of the test and traces most senior executives revealed a deep concern within the English contact tracing organization about its image and performance. In addition to rebuilding public trust, executives believe they need to reset their relationship and with local councils, which has been strained ever since the launch of the service. Okay, Test and Trace head Baroness Dido Harding has maintained that the service is working well and local councils and engaging the public effectively. With local councils and engaging the public effectively. But the slides which lay out what Test and Trace bosses are calling the path to Christmas tell a different story. They show that Test and Trace bosses are aware of the mistrust felt by the public and local officials towards the National Contact Tracing Service, which has been reportedly criticized for its poor performance. Yet although the slides reveal the Test and Trace has mobilized 27 work streams to reinvent the service as part of a countdown to Christmas, questions may be asked about why the measures are only being shown to contact tracers today. Wait, let me read that again, man. Yet although the slides reveal the test and trace has mobilized 27 work streams to reinvent the service as part of a countdown to Christmas, questions may be asked about why the measures are only being shown to contact tracers today. Alright, 2 weeks into a national lockdown that was supposed to buy time for test and trace to improve. The slides revealed that Test and Trace will be introducing strategic comms, incentives, and a citizen advisory group to rebuild public trust. Right, so basically they've already got a system in place. They've already thought this all out, and they're about to roll it out at very soon. Okay. So I don't know what strategic comms. I don't know what comms is short for, but I understand that incentives may mean that for access to this said service or this said product, you're gonna need to register with Test and Trace, right? So reading on, it says Test and Trace also plans to reset our relationship with local authorities. So resetting your relationship with local authorities means that it's basically renewing it. Okay, so it's gonna start over. But then if it's gonna start over, what's gonna be the catch? That Test and Trace is gonna be the means by how you get to your local authorities. Okay, that's why I mentioned this in the video before, and basically you have buildings that are being put up, and they now have NFC access turnstiles. All right, so you can only get into that building by going through the turnstiles, but the turnstiles are only activated, right, or the doors only open if you have NFC or RFID technology. All right, and I wonder why that is. Okay, so it says although the slides only refer to one measure designed to achieve this, the existing contain framework which covers local responses to coronavirus. The path to Christmas intended to ensure staff working on things fall under these priorities as agreed by NHS Test and Trace Exco. Reset our relationship with local authorities, scale, build out and deploy a testing capacity. And to me, that number two, I'm telling you, I've been seeing a building going up and it's got the same turnstile I saw in front of another building, and I'm sure it's some form of it may even be a bloody concentration camp, man. You never know where it could be. All right. So it says speed, deliver, step change, and in as is ops, KPIs, and tech service stability. All right. So you know what they're saying. Pfizer saying that they'll roll out the vaccine immediately. Right. And I've seen a lot of brothers starting with Apostle Tahar basically bringing it out that they said they're gonna vaccinate people in 24 hours. Right, I haven't got around to seeing the video yet, but I've been seeing that going around. And the only thing I know is that Pfizer said they're ready to roll out their vaccine immediately. Right, leverage data for greater insight. See, bang, leverage data for greater insight. So they want more access. Today, Instagram renewed their terms of use with Instagram, and today Twitter now has added stories. All right, and if you can see it, stories originate from Snapchat. That's the reason why people snapped. But then now it's expanded onto Facebook and Instagram. Why do you think they want those platforms to have that, and even Twitter now? Why do you think? It's because they want access to your phone, right? To your audio and to your video. So now they basically, when you download the program and you agree to terms of use, it gives them free access to your microphone and your video, all right? So they can basically gain data. They can listen into your conversations, and they utilize the information they get for you to get what they call the perfect experience with their app, right? That's why you have a conversation about something, and then you go on YouTube, and then the thing will pop up on your suggested list immediately, right? Because the phone's listening to you, okay? So that's number 4, leverage data for greater insight. Rebuild public trust. So basically, really with all those things prior to rebuilding public trust, is basically being utilized to manipulate the people to go with the flow, right? 27 work streams mobilized, each aligned to one of the priorities with clear deliverables and outcomes that are reported back to TNT Exco weekly, all right? So I fully do not understand what those 27 work streams mobilized mean, but I'm sure we're about to find out, man. All right. So it says it says hey, we're heading into that the hour of temptation, man, the time of Jacob's trouble, right? But just it's hey man, it is what it is, man. Because at the end of the day, that means the kingdom's right around the corner. That's really the best thing about it, man. That should bring joy. So anyway, reading on. Um, it says the slides call for step change in the speed of the service, which official figures show is meeting none of its targets for turnaround times. Boris Johnson admitted last month that he shared people's frustrations at the time it took tests to be processed. Right, they're doing this all intentionally for the sole purpose of allowing to establish their enterprise basically. So it says, test and trace other priorities include increasing the size of the service and its use of data. The service was widely criticized after it briefly lost tens of thousands of cases following a mix-up with the Excel spreadsheet. The slides say that the Path to Christmas program is intended to ensure all staff working on things fall under these five priorities. In addition, the Baroness Harding, the executives on call were test and trace uh, Chief Operating Officer David Pitt and three senior executives from Public Health England. A Department of Health and Social Care spokesperson said NHS test and trace breaking chains of transmission thanks to local and national teams working hand in glove. Over 2 million people who may have otherwise have unknowingly spread coronavirus have been contacted and told to isolate. We are continuously seeking to improve the service as well as our vital local relationships. There are now over 150 local contact tracing partnerships across the country, with more to come, and we are going further by sending out hundreds of thousands of rapid lateral flow tests to local authorities across England. All right. So basically, you can see what's going on, man. They're basically saying they want to reset um, test and trace system, and it's really down to the fact that it hasn't been working anyway. Right. So those lighthouse labs, they actually got jobs going, and the payment is good. I can't even front. They're offering you 29 to 32K, right? A couple bags to work in the lab, and you don't need no experience, all right? No crazy experience. You some form of competency, and they're paying well, all right? So those budgets are part of those incentives. Mega labs, mass testing, tech proven pilots, university testing, end of term. So the test, Liverpool City testing, all right? So that's why Liverpool's on lockdown. They're going to be some guinea pigs. NHS, and like I said before, Liverpool's a wild city, man. That's that's gangland, man. They're opposite the Irish Sea, right? All the Irish and the Scots, mainly the Irish though, are over there in Liverpool, and that's just a wild. You had someone get shot the other day there. That's one of those. It's a rowdy city, all right. NHS asymptomatic, all right. So they got something for the people that are asymptomatic, right? Regional testing, uh, previously whole population, DPH testing, care homes and adult social work, UK manufacturers. Um, so it says trace ups improvement plan. Yeah, they got a lot in place they want to do. Data driven interventions, right? C19 app product plan. So that's part of the incentive as well, a product plan. strategic comms. So that's the final stage right here, where it says, so these were previously, but it says these were these 4 projects were previously bundled as a single project, but now they've been separated, okay, because they're gonna gradually edge each of them in. So strategic comms, I don't know what that is short for, but it says incentives. They're gonna offer incentives, citizen advisory group. So you're gonna have access to that, and customer journey. All right. So why did they say customer journey? Vaccines placeholder, serial contact tracing. All right. Serial contact tracing. Let me check out what serial contact tracing is. I thought as much. That's an RFID chip, man. I believe, man. Don't quote me. Because I believe the serial goes into the serial number and the contact tracing goes into. Tracing via contact. But, hey, that's a lesson more or less. You know, Lord willing, you being edified, just to show you that, look, man, their agendas, they got the ball rolling, right? And that's the 27 work streams right there, with the end goal of ending up with a serial contact tracing testing, which I believe is the RFID chip. But hey, nonetheless, even if that's not that, this is all setting it in place. All right. So with that, I pray you're edified. I say shalom.